rules and common sense. I guess some things are the same everywhere in large gathering points. We're here at ICM in Kitale, Kenya today, and just outside of Kitale town in Kenya, and we're for the second day of the pastors' conference. But I noticed this little sign behind me. I don't know if you can see it there, somewhere there. It's backwards probably on your video. It says Fire Assembly Point. And at Siempre para los Niños, we have to have a spot on the ground with a big green X, and it's called the punta, the point, where everyone knows that in case of earthquake, in case of an emergency, there's an assembly point, someplace for everyone to gather together in that time of an emergency. And I think about how often we live our lives without a common gathering ground, without a spot where we know that this is my spot, this is our spot, this is a place where we all call together. Now, growing up, maybe it's, hey, I went to this high school. Getting older, maybe I'm an alumnus of this university, and then, I go to this church, or I go to this synagogue, or then getting older, I work at this place, and then I live in this neighborhood. This is where my home is, and then I drive this kind of car, and then this is what my children do for a living, and then this is how many grandchildren I have. Today is my granddaughter Sailor's 7th birthday. Happy birthday, Sailor. And I thought about, happy birthday, Sailor. And I thought about how things become gathering points. And the way as we're young, we're never imagined someday having the gathering points of our lives being something like a grandchild, where everyone can get together. I know the family got together yesterday and had the opportunity to celebrate Sailor's birthday. And I was here in Kenya, and I thought about, I talked to Debbie early this morning, late last night at home, and about a 12-hour difference, and got to hear all about the party and the excitement the girls had and how much fun it was for everyone, and thought about the gathering points in our lives that sometimes we're apart from, but even though we're far apart from each other during these gathering points, we're still in our hearts, we're together. While I've been here in Kenya, I've got to reconnect with friends that I haven't seen for some of them 15 years or more. And yet they've come to me, even though I look different, even though I'm much older, they remembered me, they've conveyed their love. And I thought about how somehow, miraculously, God's made this little part of Western Kenya, Western Kenya, a gathering point for our family, for our churches, for so many of us to be able to come here to Kitale town, to the regions around it, and to be able to meet people and see people who know and love us and who we know and love. And the mystery in what can happen in life. These grounds, they're really so simple. When you come here, and any of you who wanted to, you could come here, you could stay in these grounds, you could stay in one of these rooms, you could visit, you could be a support. This little library over here that I'll show you in just a second, that's the largest theological library in all of Kenya. That little building right there, 30,000 theological books in that library, and that's the largest theological library in all of Kenya. I would have thought maybe the one at Kimo was, but surprised me. Then you look in the distance and you see these beautiful homes on the hills in the distance, just starting to rain lightly. And I think to myself, the only thing that could make a day like today better is if all the people I know and love were here. I know Julia would love to be here. She loves Kenya so much. I think about what it'd be like to take John around to the place where he spent time before and to reintroduce Kitale to him. I think he would love it so much. Then I think about all of my family, my grandchildren, to have Debbie here with, to have my friends, the kids I grew up with, to have all of them here and to be able to share Africa together. In the days to come, we're going to be traveling to some places that I haven't been in a long time, seeing other friends. And I think about how we have the opportunity to either just treat the places we go to like a tourist attraction, or to treat them like an invitation to home and a place to sharing, as a gathering point, a spot in our lives. I don't know if your life has become just a collection of visitations, of dropping in and outs, or if it's become a spot where you're literally sharing your heart, your life with the people you're with, And those spots become kind of miraculous when you're there. This is one of those kind of miraculous spots for me. I'm looking forward to sharing during the Pastors' Conference again today. Such a receptive audience. People who have given so much to be here. And I think about what a blessing. And the only thing I can imagine that would make it be any more miraculous is if that you were here to share it with us. Today, why not go through your mind and think about the gathering spots you have in your life? The spots that you think are important. I read an interesting article by a kid I went to high school with, and junior high school and elementary school, Jared Golden. He wrote an interesting article about his temple that he had been a part of as an adult up in Northern California, that now that he's retired back to Southern California, he doesn't go too much. And he wrote about homecoming gatherings and what an important thing that would be. And I thought that's what it's been like for me. As I read his article here in Kenya, I thought that's what this has been like for me, like a homecoming. And I thought about how often we overlook these important homecomings. And in coming together again, it's not like we're living backwards, but instead we're remembering that that which was behind us is an important part of who we are even still today. It's valuable to our very essence of who we are today. It's a gathering point to remind us that we have safety in a world that sometimes is on fire all around us. We have strength in a world that sometimes is shattering all around us. We have the opportunity together to be the miracle. Hey, make your day miraculous. Gather together with some friends. Tell them you love them. Tell them, did you know Eric Denton's still wearing the same clothes he was wearing last week? Same clothes. I've got on my new shirt, but other than that, I'm telling you what, I'm afraid I am smelling up the room walking in. It's pretty awful, but my suitcase is supposed to be here today. God bless you. Be the miracle today. I hope all of your luggage arrives on time. Have a fantastic day. Be the gathering point. Celebrate who you're with. And when I get home, let's take that moment to get together and have coffee. When I get home, let's take that moment just to get it. I'd like to share my stories of Kenya, and you share your stories of the summer together. Let's take that time just to be together, the time that we've overlooked. God bless you. Be the miracle. Wish you were here. I really do. Wish you were here.